Good afternoon, dear students. So, as many of you were telling about the chapter of the lost spring, which is there in class 12, so I decided to share with you the summary and detailed explanation of the chapter so that it can be of help to you. So, let us start the discussion of the summary of the chapter, The Lost Spring. Okay, so the lost spring, first of all I would like to discuss about the significance of the title. What is the lost spring? What does the title the lost spring mean? The lost spring means spring, the spring season. If we take it symbolically, it signifies a season full of uh, life, vibrancy. It shows the youth stage of human life. Generally, the spring season is associated with the youth stage of human life. Now, the lost spring here means that stage of youth which is lost. So, the that stage which of youth which the persons cannot enjoy, unenjoyable. And when can this happen? This can happen when the years of youth is not enjoyable, and from there we enter the main text. That is, this is about those children, or you can say those teenagers, who the story rather describes the pitiable condition of those poor children who are forced to miss the joys of childhood due to their socio-economic condition. They are engaged, you can say, in child labor, and as a result of that they miss the this in this youths of life, the this they should at that point of time when they should play and enjoy the life, then at that point of time they are forced to work. Okay, so the writer Anish Jung shares with us two such stories of the two young children who are at their youths, but unfortunately they have to uh, work continuously because of their poor socio-economic condition. So he first starts with a boy named Sahib-e-Alam. Sahib-e-Alam, this boy is actually a rag picker. Rag picker, you must be knowing, who picks garbages from different places. So this Sahib-e-Alam, this boy is actually a rag picker, and he has migrated from Dhaka, that is Bangladesh, and his family has actually migrated. They are actually refugees. So when that during that that particular war of 1971 which took place, they have actually migrated and they have settled down in Simapuri, a place known as Simapuri, which is in New Delhi, and they live in a very pitiable condition. They live in those huts there. The conditions there, the many people living together in one place, and you have those dirty alleys where the living condition is quite miserable. So this boy Sahib Alam lives there, and the writer Anish Jung watches Sahib every morning ravaging the garbage. So garbage to them is actually gold. Why? In the book you will find this, that garbage to them, it is being referred, it's actually gold. Why the garbage is referred to as gold? Because it is from the garbage that they get their daily sustenance. Those particular things that we actually throw out, that actually we do not need anymore. So those are the things that form a part of their daily sustenance, daily needs. Okay, so that garbage is actually gold for them, and this garbage is a means of survival. Sometimes the children may come across a coin or two in the garbage. Sometimes we may find the children, they get a coin or two, and that actually is something very great for them, one if they happen to find it. And once the writer met this particular boy Sahib Alam, and he asked the writer that do you want to go to school? So the boy Sahib said that he wants, but there are no means of doing it. So then the writer said that if I open a school, would you like to join? The boy showed great interest at that point of time, and the after a few meetings more, whenever he meets the writer, he keeps on asking that when are you going to open a school. So the writer maybe has said it just jokingly or to check the mentality, but the boy has taken it very seriously. So this shows that really this boy wants to study. And also the name, the writer said the name Sahib e Alam is ironic. So Sahib e Alam, so if we translate it, it means the ruler of the universe. But see the irony, the boy whose name actually resembles the or means the ruler of the universe is actually doing a rack picking. So that's a really very pathetic and pitiable condition. Once the writer found that the boy was wearing a this torn shoes, somebody's used and torn shoes, and he had a fascination of wearing the shoes because he walks barefooted most of the time. And the writer understood that this might be someone's else's discarded tennis shoes, but those torn and the shoes in such a poor condition, the boy is wearing it, and that actually is giving him a lot of pleasure. So see how the things which we discard and how we always want and urge for more things, actually these little things give such a great pleasure to those who don't have. So never consider that you didn't have anything. Always remember that there are people who doesn't have those basic things that you need. And then the story goes on that the writer was for few days the writer didn't find Sahib coming to the locality for picking up rags. And then he came to know that Sahib has joined a tea stall. Sahib has joined a tea stall where he could earn 800 rupees, 800 rupees a month, and all the meals. But that the heavy tea canister which he has to take feels a burden, like burden to him, and he feels that the that brag picking was comparatively easier. So this job he might have got, but it has taken away the freedom. When he was a rack picker, he was free to do his work according to his own will. But as he became this the as a as he is working as a in the tea stall, the writer seems that he has lost the freedom, and now he is being forced and subjugated by someone else. So the story of Sahib Alam, that is the part 1 of the text, comes here. And the part 2 of the text, we move on to another boy who has this dreams in his eyes, but and wants to go against the current of what his community is doing. From Sahib Alam we come to Mukesh. Now this Mukesh is actually working in the bangle making industry, and we have Firozabad, which is famous for the bangle making. So but unfortunately in India we have rules against the child labor, but about 20,000 children in Firozabad are engaged in this business. And this bangle making industry, the author again ironically says that the bangles is something which gives us a lot of happiness, and people get happy seeing the bangles and all. But unfortunately the children who are making it, they cannot understand the happiness behind it. Okay, they are actually putting a smile on our faces, but their life itself is gloomy. So that is something very pathetic. And their condition, the way in which they are forced to work, these children, that is miserable. They have to work almost around 20 hours, 18 to 20 hours a day in front of the hot furnaces where the bangles, the glass is actually cut, and in dimly lit rooms. And when they work in such dark rooms that when they come out sometimes in the open, their eyes dazzle because they are not used to see such great I mean the sunlight there. So the most of the time they spent in the unhygienic and dirty and those in front of the hot furnaces. And also the glass which is being cut, so they don't have enough protection in the eyes, and as a result of that, the bits of the cut glass enter into their eyes and their eyes get damaged. And so in this industry, many of the children, they go blind at a premature age, and they lose their eyesight because they don't have the proper protection and equipments that is required to work in that bangle making industry. And but the sad part is, they most of them, they have just accepted this particular situation. They have no I mean wish to change the situation. They think of that as they it is their destiny, and they have succumbed to the situation. So why they have succumbed to the situation, that is, there is also a reason of that. They are weighed down by the debt. So if they have to take a debt to run this particular industry, and they are being exploited very badly by the money lenders and these politicians, the middlemen, and they are actually obstruct their progress. These people do not allow them to grow. Rather, as it is the rule of the world in most of the cases, the haves, they went on exploiting the have nots again and again. So this is something very pathetic. They do not get any help from those person who are actually the lawmakers. Rather, these lawmakers actually exploit them all the more, and there is no one to listen to their plight, and there is no one to just uplift them from this particular situation. So that makes the thing all the more pathetic, you can say. This particular sahukars and the middlemen and all, they went on exploiting them, and they have went to such a position where they feel that there is no escape, when there is no rescue from this particular place, and they have accepted their fate and destiny. Here is the reason why the story of Mukesh is so inspiring. Mukesh is the boy, only one who is related to that bangle making industry. But he wants to go against the current. He wants to do something different. He does not want to be succumbed under this particular pressure, and he really hopes that he can he can engage himself in some other works. So this dream of Mukesh is to become a motor mechanic. Mukesh wants to be a motor mechanic, and he is different from the rest of the folk. He dares to dream. What is more important is, that is the thing. He dares to dream, because he firmly believes, as there goes a saying, that man is the maker of this, or maker of his own destiny. There is nothing as destiny. Man makes his destiny, and this boy Mukesh has a dream in his mind, and he wants to go against the current. The people of his community, they thought of this as their uh, destiny, but he doesn't think so. He wanted to be a motor mechanic, as I have told you, and he wants to go against the current, as and this is what the writer finds so inspiring. So even in this the pathetic plight of these bangle makers, there is some story of hope. There are people, there are children like Mukesh who wants to do something different and break the chain of the break the shackles, rather you say, of the poverty, and wants to do something of his own. So here we have the two boys, and more or less this story actually tells us about the pathetic plight of the people, the children rather, who are still, in spite of so many rules and regulations which are there formulated by the government, there are the flouting of the rules, and the curse, it's a curse rather, I can say, the curse of the child labor still exists in our country, sadly. And which should be it is just a awareness by the writer, and he speaks against this, and he wants the society to be better, so that these children can enjoy the light of education and have a life of their own. So that is so dear children, that is the story all about. Just go through the text for a better understanding, and then rewind my lecture. Hope it will be helpful for you. Till then, uh, goodbye and stay safe. Thank you. Bye.